Welcome back. The housing market is shifting with rates falling, prices softening, and even the White House hinting at possible emergency action. Could this be a turning point for buyers and sellers? Well, joining us now to break it all down, we have CEO of Real Estate Connection, Brian Coester, back here with us. Brian, thank you for being here. It's been a while.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
Yeah, and we have a lot to catch up on. So let's start with the White House. So President Donald Trump is signaling a possible national emergency on housing. So what does that really mean?
So essentially, within the federal government, within each framework, there's mechanics they can pull, there's levers they can pull at the federal level to incentivize. A lot of those are sort of implied permissions at the local level for people to execute. So it's lenders to make a little more aggressive loans, it's for the Federal Reserve to lower rates, it's for zoning to improve as far as speeding up some of the zoning requirements for new building. And so what he's doing is he's giving clear direction, like this is an emergency, and we need all hands on deck, and I need you to start pulling these levers to get housing moving again.
Okay, so he basically wants to get things moving and right on track.
Yep, exactly.
So then let's talk about the Federal Reserve and markets. They're bracing for multiple rate cuts with mortgage rates, you know, they're inching down. So how much relief is it for buyers to actually see? Yeah,
so the Federal Reserve controls the monetary policy and the cost of borrowing at an institutional level, right? So that means to a consumer is ultimately the Federal Reserve controls the benchmark for setting rates. So when they indicate, hey, we want more economic activity, we got to speed things up, they lower rates to make it more affordable to buy. When they say, hey, it's going a little too fast, inflation needs to cool down a little bit, they raise rates to slow things down. So it's a lever that they have, right? So what they're indicating now is, hey, look, things are getting distressed. We've got properties that are now getting listing for longer. We have buyers who want to buy. Cost is expensive. Zoning, President Trump, we've got to lower things a little bit. And they've indicated they're going to do so. And they've had a lot of pressure over the last year to do so as well.
Yeah, and it's like a push-pull, it almost seems like.
It is a heavy negotiation, right? It is everything. It's a global negotiation that's sort of taking place between the markets.
Okay, and we're also seeing a decline in D.C., parts of Maryland. What does that mean for the buyer's market right now?
Well, ultimately, it's been a long time coming, right? So the DMV market's unique in that it has a federal government, had federal resources, has a lot of the infrastructure that a lot of areas don't have, but at the same time is not immune, right? So you're talking about a national issue when it comes to decline, but at the local level, areas like Waldorf, Hagerstown, Baltimore, Manassas are already seeing pretty sharp declines.
Yeah.
And then you're seeing closer to, the city, Montgomery County, PG County, some of those areas, softening, right? Softening, and that just looks like better terms for the buyer.
Okay, softening is, I guess, a good word to kind of
it's a softening. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, you know what? That is all the time that we have. Brian Coester, thank you so much for joining us with a look at what's happening now. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's turn things over to meteorologist.